Abdel Fattah al-Sisi held summit talks with his Azerbaijani counterpart Ilham Aliyev at the presidential palace in the capital Baku. The two leaders held a joint press conference following their talks. We have more details in the current report.
President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi and his Azerbaijani counterpart Ilham Aliyev held summit talks in the Azeri capital Baku. President al-Sisi and his Azeri counterpart Aliyev examined several regional and international issues of mutual interest. The Azerbaijani president hailed the positive role played by Egypt to settle regional issues, according to presidential spokesperson Ambassador Bassam Radi. Radi concurred on the importance of supporting efforts for a political settlement in Syria, working on rebuilding the country, eliminating terrorist groups, and supporting the state institutions. They emphasized the necessity of preserving the territorial integrity of Syria, realizing the legitimate aspirations of the Syrian people, and ending their human sufferings. As for Libya, President al-Sisi reviewed Egypt's vision for a settlement in Libya and the efforts exerted in this regard to support the political, constitutional, and economic tracks. The discussion covered the repercussions of the Russian-Ukrainian conflict and the latest updates on the Palestinian cause. The meeting also tackled efforts to combat terrorism and extremist ideologies, as President al-Sisi called for concerted efforts by the international community to besiege this phenomena at all levels, be they with regard to financing terrorist groups and supplying them with weapons and terrorist elements. Aliyev, for his part, praised the comprehensive approach adopted by Egypt in its war on terrorism by addressing the roots of the problem via supporting economic and social development and combating extremist ideologies that lead to terrorism. During his meeting, President al-Sisi also extended his condolences to Azerbaijan after Friday's attack on its embassy in Tehran that killed its security chief and injured two guards, wishing a speedy recovery for those injured. He also affirmed Egypt's full solidarity with Azerbaijan in face of this painful incident that stresses once again the importance of rejecting extremism, violence, and terrorism.
Concluding his visit to Azerbaijan, President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi arrived in Armenia on Saturday in an official visit among an Asian tour. The visit is the first of its kind made by an Egyptian president since Armenia's independence. Presidential spokesperson Ambassador Bassam Radi said the head of state is due to have summit talks on Sunday with Armenian President Fahagin Kachaturian, Armenian Prime Minister Nikol Pashinyan, tackling ways to boost bilateral ties in various domains. Radi added that the visit comes within the historic relations that bind Egypt and Armenia, which did not stop at the official levels or the diplomatic level, as Egypt was the first Arab country to hold the diplomatic ties with Armenia since its independence. The spokesman stressed that bilateral ties on the people's level are distinguished with the presence of a large Armenian community in Egypt, which played a pivotal role throughout Egypt's history in all domains. Prime Minister Dr. Mustafa Madbouli held an inspection tour in Capital Park City north of Badr City in Cairo Governorate, following up the pace of work in a number of ongoing national projects. The Premier was accompanied by Minister of Housing Dr. Asim Al-Ghazdar and a number of executives. Al-Ghazdar said the Capital Parks is a fourth-generation city, including different housing complexes, services zones, as well as industrial zones and investment projects, in addition to logistical zones and green areas. Madbouli toured the modern pentathlon field, the medical center, and an integrated school which was built on two fedoons and includes a class for students with determination. Wrapping up his tour, the Premier held a press conference in which he assured the Egyptian people that the state is exerting the utmost efforts to overcome the current global crises, stressing that the situation now is much better as the production sector is back on track with its full capacity. Egypt celebrated the 71st anniversary of Police Day, which refers to the sacrifices made by policemen throughout all ages. Police facilities have received a number of school students who inspected the efforts made by the policemen in performing their duties. The policemen distributed presents among the visiting students as the latter congratulated them on the Police Day occasion. Students of the Police Academy visited a number of schools where they gave the school students some souvenirs and presents to commemorate the occasion. Egypt expressed its full rejection to the occupied East Jerusalem attack, stressing its condemnation to all operations that target civilians. In a foreign ministry statement, Egypt also warned of the severe dangers and repercussions of the current escalation between the Palestinian and Israeli sides, calling for utmost self-restraint, stopping violations and provocative measures to evade endless cycle of violence that's worsening the political situation and hurdles efforts of calmness and reviving the stalled Middle East peace process. On the ground, the Israeli occupation military was sending more troops into the occupied West Bank a day after violence resulted in the killing of 7 people on the outskirts of the occupied East Jerusalem or Al-Quds, and another shooting attack in the city on Saturday